everyone, and welcome to the LinkedIn Lockdown Not Shutdown Masterclass. We've got some folks joining us. Let us know where you guys are from in the chat, please. Before we start, we'd just like to know who it is that we are chatting to, what it is that you guys want to learn. Yes, let us know in the chat. Let's see who's joining the call. Hi, Julie. How's it going? Glad to have you on board. Hi, Hanneke. Let me know where you guys are from, as well as what it is that you guys want to learn. Mark from Bloberg, yes. Cape Town is normally well represented, as well as the Eastern Cape and so forth. How's it, Michelle, Margot, Kia? Oh, gosh, you guys are coming in thick and fast. I can't say hi to everyone, but hi, everyone. How's it, Mark, Donovan, Leslie, Bibi, Johan, Tanya, lots of guys from Joburg. Hello from Centurion. How's it, everyone? Let me know what it is that you guys want to have us cover today, just so that I can try and convince Tilly to throw in a couple of tidbits and some bonuses. I normally am able to convince her. Andor, hi from Joburg, would love to learn proper LinkedIn strategies that actually work. Linda, 100%. We're going to teach you some awesome ones today. Hi, Mocheti. Eon from Cape Town. I'm from Springs, not sure how to use LinkedIn in general. Hanneke, don't worry. Today is a good day to be on this call. We're going to be taking you guys through that. Hi, Shanaz. Marianne from the Cape Chamber of Commerce and Industry. That's quite interesting. That's a new one for us. Let's see who else we've got on here. Hi, Meryl from Johannesburg. From Johan from Pretoria. How's it, guys? Super excited. I'm glad you're super excited. I'm super excited as well. It's always fun to spend some time with you guys during lockdown and to offer you guys some guidance and insight. How's my target market careers consulting using LinkedIn? How to take my career consulting using LinkedIn forward, Julia. I think I understand your question, but 100% we are going to be showing you some awesome tips and tricks with regards to that and the difference between profiles and pages and so forth, and how you're going to be able to use those. What does hashtags actually mean when you post? Yes, that's a good one, Mona. It's actually a unique question. We haven't had that before, but 100% we can deal with that, not a problem. Gwen says, I'm needing to go online and pull back from the front line, just starting to get awareness. Still a novice. Well, this is the nice thing about today. You can take as much or as little as you need to and then go and implement. Veronica, also need an overall LinkedIn guide. I want my profile to be completed in full and professionally. Yes, that's a very important thing to get right. And Tilly's going to show you guys the basics today as to how to do that. Because if you've got that right, it already sets you up for proper lead generation going forward. Hans says, I've started a new job in a new industry. Do I start a new account or alter the current one? I'm just going to mark these ones as questions, guys. Hans, if you are in a new job in a new industry, you don't start a new account. You just edit your current profile. But we will take you guys through some of that today. Lindiwe, welcome from Midrand. Yes, some secrets, some tips and tricks you'll find today, guys, that what we share is not something that you can go and Google. And the uniqueness of this masterclass is that Tilly takes you over her shoulder. It's not a PowerPoint presentation. So that's the nice thing from that side. I just sort of want to just gauge where you guys are at. Let me know in the chat before I introduce the team so that we know where your heads are at and we can make sure that our presentation is touching everything that it needs to touch. But what of these are resonating for you guys? Is it the fact that you need more customers? Are you, trying every channel but not 100% sure which ones are working the best? Is lockdown still got a lot of us stressed, not sure what's coming down the line, and there's sort of it's a bit of a quagmire of despair at the moment. We don't know where the end of the tunnel is. What is it that you want to know here, guys? What are your feelings? How are you adjusting at the moment? Is the cash flow the issue? Is it that you've got an awesome side hustle that you finally want to get going? Okay, all of the above. Need more customers. That's always, I've never heard a business say, thank you very much, I've got too many customers, please don't talk to me anymore. So, regardless of lockdown, I think it is very important to learn the skills to be able to get more customers and the right customers, which is something that we're going to be dealing with today. All of the above. Awesome, guys. So that's fantastic. Welcome once again. Quick introduction. I'm Esty. I'm one of the presenters of your masterclass today. I'm a lead and customer acquisition specialist. And what that really means is that I help businesses get more clients. So it's a very fun job because I am in a position to be able to get some expertise out to people and to be able to teach them some awesome strategies and implementation tactics that they can use to ultimately get more customers and profitable customers and keep those and grow them. Brian is going to be assisting throughout the chat. He's our lead generation specialist. Brian works in industries such as, health insurance, car insurance, debt consolidation, so forth. So he really is a lead gen specialist, and he brings a unique sense of knowledge through this masterclass. And then we've got Tilly, who is quickly going to introduce herself, and then we are going to start our masterclass.
Thank you very much, Esty, and welcome everybody. I'm looking forward to spending time with you today, showing you some secrets that you've never seen on LinkedIn before. Just a quick background. I've been in the business world for over 30 years. I spent the last 12 years in LinkedIn. I'm a practitioner. I'm not a trainer. What I'm going to show you today, I do every single day for my business as well as for my clients. So looking forward to spending time with you. Thank you, Esty.
Perfect. We'll chat to you in a little bit, Tilly. So guys, let me know in the chat here, who's heard this as a business, especially if you're in a B2B space, that LinkedIn is the place to be, that it is the lead generation engine that you're supposed to master and get a handle of. Because if you are in the B2B space and you don't know how to use LinkedIn properly, then you're not going to be able to be generating those leads as you want at will. For those, I can see in the chat, 100% you guys are coming through. It's a very, very important channel. But for those of you who are still needing a little bit of convincing, let's go through some stats here. 575 million registered members on LinkedIn. We've got 260 million odd active worldwide on a monthly basis. And I know you might say, Esty, that's worldwide, so that doesn't really account for us. South Africa is always a hell of a lot smaller. It is, but it's still 7 million. So these are 7 million folk in South Africa, businesses that are on this channel actively. And the difference that I want to just make sure that you guys understand is people go and spend time on other networks. So like a Facebook or Instagram or whatever the case is. So if you think about when you go onto Facebook, you're really going there for relaxation or to go check out the latest COVID memes or check out cat posts or, have some fun with family and friends and so forth. You're just spending time relaxing in a relaxed state. When you're on LinkedIn, people invest time. There's a difference between spending time and investing time. And that's why this channel is so, so important, and why LinkedIn's actually come back and said over 80% of B2B leads come from LinkedIn. So knowing how to master this channel effectively is going to really set you apart from your competitors, number one, and make sure that you're able to start nurturing relationships with the right target audience, and that you're able to get to a stage where you are generating leads at will. But who's also heard this? LinkedIn's easy. You do a profile, you set the profile up, you do your page, you post some stuff, and then, aren't the leads supposed to fall out of the sky? Yes, I can see in the chat, guys. Let me know who's had issues here. It's not as easy as it seems. And the reason it's not as easy as it seems is because LinkedIn is a science. And I want to make sure that you guys understand, if anybody comes to you and said, you do 1, 2, 3 things, and LinkedIn is superbly easy to implement, there's not a hell of a lot of work that needs to be done, and I promise you the leads are going to fall out of the sky within the next day, they are lying to you. Okay, don't get sucked into the hype and the quick wins and the mass hysteria of people jumping on this bandwagon of the instant gratification. LinkedIn is a science. And what I mean by science is it's about implementing 21 steps consecutively to get the platform to work for you and with you. And we're going to be going through a lot of these during this masterclass to show you. We can only, unfortunately, do 3 today of the 21 steps because time's a little short. But we're going to be touching on exactly what currently is being done wrong and how to do it correctly so that when you start implementing some of these steps, you're not falling in the traps that a lot of business owners are falling into. But I really want you guys to just take a minute, and I saw in the chat a couple of times, I want to update my CV and so forth. LinkedIn is not an online resume. Okay, the days of posting your CV on LinkedIn and it getting a lot of traction is gone. LinkedIn is about an online channel that you need to distribute content, engaging content to your ideal target audience. And that's something Tilly's going to teach you guys in about a bit as well, so that you're able to provide value to them. Once you're able to provide value, you start having a two-way relationship, and that's where the channel actually starts working for you. So lead generation is almost a byproduct of using the channel absolutely correctly. So I quickly want to take you through Roy, because Roy is almost the poster child for how people approach LinkedIn. Roy is an inclusivity and diversity specialist. It's quite a hard topic. He talks to corporates about understanding where there are gaps in the inclusivity strategies, why there's employee churn and what that's got to do with inequalities and so forth. So it's by no means a fireside chat. This is not an easy conversation to be having with any type of with corporate. And what Roy did is he obviously had his personal profile and set that up, and Roy's a speaker, and off he goes. And he's a really good speaker, a very engaging chap. Had his business page set up, started posting some, content and some videos, and, he did connection requests. So he accepted every connection request that came through to him because, that's what you're supposed to do. Who's been told that? Accept every connection request? Yeah, I can see. And then Roy was getting nothing. No leads, zero engagement. There was absolutely zero happening on his account. And he was pulling his hair out because all the documents and free courses and stuff he'd done had said to him, this is what you have to do. So what happens is when Roy contacted us, he was in a little bit of a desperate state. And we then said to him, okay, well, let's just see where you're at. We then took over his account. We followed the 21 steps. And remember, guys, I said LinkedIn's a science. You've got to follow the steps in a consequential manner. We followed the 21-step process. We're able to push his profile visits to his ideal target audience to over 1,000. So 1,000 is the first important number that you guys need to know, until he's going to go into detail about that a little bit later, right? The right people were then able to see his content, which is important. Not just any connections, the right connections. He reached all-star status, which is the second thing that is critically important for you guys to write down. And that resulted in over 98 qualified leads for Roy at the end of April, right? So we all remember what happened in April. Lockdown hit. We took Roy's account over the day before lockdown hit. And I must be honest, the team was quite nervous. We were, because we didn't know what the response was going to be, how people were going to be engaging, or what we were going to need to do. So the reason I tell you this story is because we don't want you to be like Roy. We don't want you to waste the time going through the motions and getting things to a state where you think it's supposed to be, and then not getting the results. Because there's a hell of a lot of places things can go wrong, guys. So let me know in the chat who's been guilty of this or who's been on the receiving end of this. You have your profile set up, pages done, all the rest, and automatically you start getting connection requests from people, and you've been told, yes, I need to connect to people because that's what LinkedIn is all about, is about connections. And then 40 seconds after you've connected with them, they start spamming you. Who's had that? Who's been guilty of it? Let me know in the chat. Yes, I can see. And guys, it's not a bad thing, because you just haven't been taught anywhere different. This is how we all understood the channel to be working. Who's had it that they've tried to sell everything in the kitchen sink? You've barely had a minute to breathe. right? And you've already been bombarded with, hi, please look at this, please go here, please read this, please like my page, please boom, boom, boom. Okay? Who's been the recipient of, or who has actually implemented automated messaging? And Tilly's going to be dealing with that as well. Because the one thing we can implore to you guys, please, there is nothing automated about LinkedIn. You can see the messages come through. I mean, I actually had an example the other day from an automated message coming through. The guy forgot to edit my name. So he called me Dan. So, you know, guys, things like that obviously happens. I'm just using it as an example, but that's not how you make a human-human connection. And a lot of our clients also come back and go, well, I have, everyone's my target audience. Who's got that issue where you can't figure out who it is that you actually need to target? So you target everyone. We have a saying in marketing, where if you target everyone, you target nobody. And we're going to go through that today as well. Guys, I want to just use an analogy here. And this is all in a bit of fun and jest, but what happens here is I always liken it to, you walk into a bar, right? Saturday evening, bar is packed, not now, obviously, but you walked into a bar at some stage, and you walk up to a guy sitting at the counter having a drink. You don't know him from a bar or soap, and you say to him, hi, sorry, I don't know you. When are we getting married, and what are we going to name our kids? So we don't do that in real life. Well, we shouldn't, because it's creepy and weird. So why do we do it on our social media channels? And that's why I said, who's been the recipient of, or who's actually committed some of these sins? And not because you're doing something obstinate, it's because you just didn't know any better. So it's weird. You guys know it's weird. You don't want to be proposed to like that. And that's why a lot of people say that LinkedIn doesn't work. And today we're going to teach you how not to be the Roys, how not to be the creepy person that walks into the bar and proposes marriage on the first date. Because here's the thing, guys. Let's get down to the actual nitty-gritty here. There's only one reason businesses really fail, and that's because there's a lack of cash flow. And you have a lack of cash flow because you have a lack of the right customers. Now, none of us ever are in a position to be wasting time chasing every single lead that comes to us. Who of you guys are at the moment grabbing at every straw that is even vaguely looking like it could be an ideal customer? We don't have the time, because if you think about the time that you're investing, the energy of engaging, writing proposals, having workshops, whatever the case is, only to have that person or company never, ever actually being in a position to buy from you. When you use LinkedIn correctly and do what Tilly tells you to do today, what you're going to see is you're going to be attracting the types of customers that want to do business with you. That's the difference. So that you're not spray and praying and hoping something's going to hit against the wall and you're going to get clients falling out of the sky. This is not a shotgun approach. It's a very scientific, consequential approach that you need to take to get right. So Tilly is going to take you guys through these 3 steps. Like I said, there are 21. But today we're going to hit these 3 major ones because they are critically important. And have your questions come throughout the chat. Couple of admin issues before Tilly carries on. Everybody will get the recording straight after this, so don't stress. It will be the slides as well. We'll send it right after the presentation, so you can go and re-listen and retake notes and so forth. But yes, enjoy the next sort of 90-odd minutes. Take a lot of notes, guys, because she does throw in some bonuses every now and again. And enjoy. Let's see. Tilly, it's over to you.
Thank you very much, Esty. And I'm always excited to get started and actually start showing you some of the secrets in LinkedIn that you didn't even realize was there. And I'm going to spend, like Esty said, the next 60 to 90 minutes with you. And I'm going to show you how LinkedIn can absolutely 100% crisis-proof your business, and that you now during the lockdown where we're all worried of what is going to happen after this, that it actually shouldn't be a concern. LinkedIn is the ultimate marketing tool for your business, and I'm going to prove that to you today, and I'm going to show you 3 steps After 21 consecutive steps that ST has just mentioned, I'm going to show you the 3 steps that once you understand this and you go home and you go and implement these 3 steps, you are going to see an immediate change in your LinkedIn activity. Immediately. It is that powerful. As ST said, this is a science and it is extremely powerful. And let's get started. Now, ST spoke about house rules. We will address the questions once I'm done. And so do stay to the end so that we can get your burning questions answered. And then a little bit of a surprise. I did say I'm a practitioner. I'm not a trainer. So I'm not going to bore you with a lot of slides. I'm actually going to let you come and look over my shoulder, and I'm going to show you on LinkedIn how things are actually supposed to work in a way that you never thought possible. Now, the 3 areas or the 3 steps that you absolutely must have, and you need to understand these 3 steps as the core foundation of your LinkedIn activity, your LinkedIn journey, to use it as a marketing tool. These are the critical steps. The first one is the settings. And I'm going to take you through and show you why your settings is the foundational element of your LinkedIn marketing tool. I'm going to show you how your LinkedIn actually was designed to grow your business. LinkedIn wasn't just created as a social media platform that you could go in and do things with, like Facebook or Instagram or any of the other social media platforms. It was designed in a very, very specific way that you never thought possible. And if you use LinkedIn that way, your business will grow. It just absolutely will grow. And then I'm going to show you how once you've set up your settings and you started to grow your business on LinkedIn, using LinkedIn in the right way, I'm then going to show you how you can then maintain this and build a consistent, profitable client finding channel that's just going to feed your business day in, day out with leads and clients predictably and at will. Now, we're going to focus on the 3 LinkedIn settings that no one has ever told you about. Now, as I promised, I am not going to spend time on slides and so on. I'm going to take you straight. Let's jump over to my LinkedIn account. Now, this is my LinkedIn profile, and I think you can all recognize, if you do have LinkedIn accounts, that this is the profile, and we all get one when we get started. Now, this is what happens. Most people sign up for LinkedIn. They go in and they, the minute they get their account details, they log in and they immediately start on their profile and they get ready so that they can go out and get their connections as quick as possible, because they've got only one thing on their mind, and that is to create and get that elusive lead. Because everybody's talking about LinkedIn being a lead generator. Well, not quite. That is not the place to start. The place that you should actually start once you've signed up to LinkedIn and you have your account is you need to go to this little Me tab over here. And when you click on it, you're going to see the settings and privacy of LinkedIn. And that is where you actually want to go to. So what we're going to do is I'm going to spend some time with you in that tab, and I'm going to show you why the LinkedIn settings is so important and why you absolutely need to go in and focus on the LinkedIn settings first. You see, if you don't tell LinkedIn that you are going to use this as your marketing tool and you want to use it according to your marketing strategy, the way you want to work, you're going to sit with LinkedIn's default. Now, let me just take you a little bit back. In your business, we use systems and tools to streamline our processes and make things easier for us. let's take an example, accounting. You go out and you get QuickBooks because you don't want to sit with pen and paper and calculate your accounts. And there's some very nice systems out there. Let's use QuickBooks as an example. You don't just go into QuickBooks and start thinking you're now going to just enter everything and out going to jump your tax returns. It doesn't work that way. You need to configure QuickBooks. You need to set it up for your business. LinkedIn works exactly the same. You need to get into the settings and you need to go through and set it up in such a way that you want to operate it in and not LinkedIn's defaults. What is the difference? If anybody knows the difference, drop me a note in the chat and tell me why you need to set up LinkedIn in a specific way. It's always quite interesting to see why people think that is. Well, I'm going to give you the answer. It's very simple. LinkedIn is set up for their users, not yours. In other words, they want to give their users the best experience. But at the same time, what is now going to happen is you're going to land up where you're going to sit with settings that is not going to assist you in your marketing activities. Now, let me take you through the three critical ones. These are ones, if you don't change this, you can ultimately either feed your competitors with some leads, or you can chase your ideal clients away and send them to your competitors. Let me show you. If you go into your settings, you look at your privacy, there's a little setting almost to the top here that says viewers of this profile also viewed. Now the default is set to yes, because what LinkedIn wants to do, it wants to give its users a good experience. Let us jump out of here and go back to my profile. And let me show you on my LinkedIn profile how this actually is now going to send your visitors to your profile, to your competitors, because people who viewed this profile also viewed a profile like this. Means people with similar profiles to mine is my competitors. Is people that's also in marketing. So LinkedIn has set it to yes because they want to give their users a good experience. But this is what happens. They will jump onto your profile over here, and as they start scrolling, this big white open space that's here on the right-hand side, this is when you're now going to see pictures and options of other people's profiles that's similar to yours, your competitors. So all of your competitors can be listed over here. This is why it is so important that if we are in our settings, that we make absolutely sure that we close that loop so that we can make sure that people that view your profile only see your profile and not your competitors as well. Another setting that I would like to show you that is also something that if you don't do this, it can really hurt you, is right at the bottom here on the privacy settings. And that is the followers. Now, Esty spoke about getting spammed on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn has got a perfect solution for that. You see, what happens is when you connect with someone, you can then see their post updates. You can see their profile. You can see their page. You can see their activity. You can send them messages. So now what has happened over the years is people have said, I don't want to be spammed like this. So LinkedIn gave us a perfect solution. And that is to instead of connecting, follow me first. So what happens is a person can land on your profile and then make a decision and say, I like what I see. I would like to see more. So they don't want to connect because they don't want those spam messages and they don't want to be spammed all the time. So they do have the option to say, let me first follow you, see what you're about, see your post updates, let's engage with your post updates, and then I will connect. Because the difference between a connection and a follower is that the followers can't message you. Connections can, but a follower can do everything else that your connections can do. So this is a very, very nice setting to have to make sure that those people that stumble on your profile and visit your profile can still follow you. Now, be absolutely sure that you change this to say everyone. Because if you don't change this to say everyone, what's going to happen is people might land on your profile, like what they see, would like to follow you, and then there's no follow button. So then they go away, and probably if you haven't changed this, the likelihood that you didn't change the setting to the viewers who viewed this also viewed others. So now you're not only chasing your ideal client away, you're sending them to your competitors. So be very careful when you set up your settings. It's extremely important that you go into your settings and make sure that you set it the right way. Another setting that I would like to show you today is a little bit of a sneaky trick, but it's also something that you need to make sure that you do set it. And this is share job changes, education changes, and work anniversaries from your profile. You are on LinkedIn because you want exposure to your business. That is what marketing is. Marketing says, here I am, this is what I can do for you. So you must make absolutely sure that you've set this to yes. Now, I want to show you on my profile how this works. And there's a little bit of a sneaky trick to this. But if you watch out for this and use it in the right way, you can really get a lot of traction on this. So we're on my profile, right? So we're going to go down and right down in the experience, we have now my job. So what I can do is, let's say I've done a lot of changes to my profile, and I would like to let all of my connections know that I've done this. Now, there's a couple of options we can do. We can go in and we can start spamming people, and we can send them messages and tell them to go and see what we can do for them. Or we can go and go into lots of groups, or we can go and post it on our content in our news feed and so on. But there's a quicker way. If we go into our experience, what we can do is we can also go in and edit this. So what you can do is you can just go and highlight this, delete it and post it right back and press save. What that will do is it will trigger LinkedIn to say, I've made a change. Please notify my connections and followers that I changed something on my profile, in this case, my job. Now, obviously, you can't overuse this, and you also need to treat this with a little bit of caution. If you are going to make a lot of changes and you have set this to yes, go to your settings, change it to no, make all of your changes, and before you do the last change, you can then use this sneaky trick of mine so that people can go in and see the changes that you've made and see what you have available for them on your profile. Now, let me give you a last little bonus one. I promised to give you 3, but maybe this one is something dear to me, and I always like to point it out to people because most people do not want to set this to yes. And this is notifying your connections when you're in the news. Now, when you're in the news and somebody mentions you on LinkedIn, or use the @ with your name so that people can see that they're talking about you. Most people is setting this to no for a very simple reason. They are cautious because they do not want people to say something negative about their business and about their brand and so on. So they want to make sure that they make absolutely sure that nobody knows that if there's something that's not kosher, that nobody will know about it. Well, my view on this is, please say the truth. Yes, you're here to market your business. You're here to tell people that you exist. So every opportunity to get exposure to your business is an opportunity that you have to grab with everything you've got. So if somebody is going to say something negative about your service or express their dissatisfaction, that is also an opportunity, because you can turn that around and show everybody that see that how professional you are when things don't go the way that it was intended to. Nothing always is perfect, and nothing always just works the way it should. So use this opportunity to go in and make sure that you expose your brand as much as possible and your profile as much as possible, so that when people start talking about you, that you can utilize the opportunity to engage. This is a setting that most people will say to no, and I want to urge you to have a look at that and rather go for changing it to yes, and use every opportunity that you have to go in and market your business. So this is the first step that you need to follow. I've just touched the tip of the iceberg. There is so much more I can tell you, but we just will not have time to go through all of them. And I would like to show you the very next step, because this is where we're going to learn how LinkedIn was actually designed for your business. This is how LinkedIn grows your business. You see, this is what happens. Let's run over to my LinkedIn and let me go show you how this works and where people has actually misunderstood the opportunity of marketing on LinkedIn the right way. You see, most people will jump into LinkedIn and think that they got a profile, and this is where everything happens. And then they also have an option of a page, but somebody said that never works, so we're not going to have a page. And yes, there's options to have a group as well, but you know, I've heard that Facebook groups work far better, so I won't go for that. So let's just stay with this. And that is not the way that it's worked. That is not the way that LinkedIn intended it to work. You see, LinkedIn, in fact, is a funnel. LinkedIn was created as a funnel, and it has got 3 layers in its funnel, and they're all linked together. And you have to start in the right way, and then push your connections down the funnel until they become clients. So what I'm going to do in step 2 today is I'm going to show you how this funnel works and how you actually need to build this funnel. So let's go into my LinkedIn and let me show you from my profile what you need to do and how we build a funnel in LinkedIn so that you can market your business the right way and generate leads and clients predictably and at will. This is a science. It's not a numbers game. It's a relationship game. So the relationship on LinkedIn always starts with your profile. And this is your personal branding on LinkedIn. This is not your business branding. This is not where we're going to sell our stuff. This is not where we're going to say, buy my stuff. This is your personal branding. This is where you're going to create a conversation and start building relationships. Let me show you how. If you look at what's on the screen right now, We call this above the fold. It is just like a website. People is going to land on your website either by an invitation, in other words, we're reaching out to them. We call that outbound marketing. Or people are going to land on your page based on your keyword, attracting them towards your profile. We call that inbound marketing. So when people land on your profile for the first time, you have 3 seconds, absolutely 3 seconds to grab their attention and create interest. Otherwise, all they're going to do is leave and search for something else. So in order to grab that attention, 3 seconds, we're going to set your profile up in such a way that you can go in and grab that attention and immediately get them to start growing into the funnel LinkedIn has created for us. So the first area is your banner. And LinkedIn comes with that awful blue bar. So what you need to do is replace that with a colorful picture that is going to display what is in it for them. You see, most people are making the mistake on LinkedIn and they go in and want to tell people what they do. And it's all about I and we. But what you want to do is you want to create a banner that clearly is going to state what it is that you do in such a way that the person landing on here has an aha moment of saying, I want to know that. I want to understand what this is about. Now, you can refer to this as a soft advert. In other words, it's an advert with a text message on stating what you are doing for them. A hard advert is connect with me and I'll give you 10% discount. Or this is a red hanger sale. Or welcome to our Black Friday specials. You don't want to do that. You're going to chase them away. You want to create a text message in your banner that is going to say something that is a focus of your area within your business so that they can sit down and say, what is that all about? I want to know more. Well, what's she talking about? What is this gap between my marketing strategy and LinkedIn? You almost want them to start owning this and saying, I want to know more. So once you've grabbed that attention, the second area is your profile picture. Now, first impressions lasts, guys. You've got to spend time on attention to detail. As I'm sure you've heard this many times, get a professional picture. What you're looking for is you want to virtually look your visitor in the eye with a smile on your face, almost like saying, welcome, I'm glad you're here. So spend time on your imagery, your banner, and your profile picture, making sure that you give a very good first impression. You know, if you go the extra mile in setting things up like this for your visitors, can you imagine the impression that you're leaving with them? That if you are prepared to go this far with your profile, with your imagery, how far are you prepared to go to provide them with a good service, a good product, a good experience? So this is extremely important. And what you need to understand and the mindset that I want you to start adopting here is this profile is your personal branding. You are the ambassador of your business. Have you ever thought of that way? Drop me a yes or no in the chat and let me know if you've ever thought of your personal profile in LinkedIn, that you're actually the ambassador, the representative of your business, and how are you portraying that? What is the message that you, as the ambassador of your business, I don't care if you're the owner or the HR manager or the call center agent, you are the ambassador of your business, representing your business and its brand. And this is the message that your banner and your profile must give within 3 seconds. The next critically important is your name. Now, I want to show you a little bit of a trick today. Most people, if they go into their name, will put their first name in the first name field and the last name in their last name field. It just makes sense, right? That's what it says. But what if you put your name and your first name in the first name field, and you use the last name to explain who you are? You're the ambassador of your business. So who are you? It's also an opportunity to give you more space to get your keyword that you are going to use to attract people and to reach out to people with. So in my case, I opted for marketing strategy specialist because my keyword is marketing. However, you don't have to be a person. It could be marketing made easy, a LinkedIn explained like never before. I could have used something like that. The crux here is you don't want a sentence. You don't want to use verbs. You don't want to have a story. It must be very punchy and to the point. That is what you're looking for in your name field. So instead of saying Tilly Davies or just my name, I'm using this field to get more of my keyword in. And if you look at above the fold, can you guess what's my keyword? Well, if you just squiz over what you can see on the screen now, how many words that has got marketing or is marketing or has marketing in it can you see? It's just all over the show. So by the time the person has glanced over this, he cannot but know that what I do is marketing. So this is where you can then use this surname field for that. Now, the fourth area that I want to show you is what we call the headline. Now, this is where most people will go in and say, I'm the CEO of XYZ company. I'm the HR director. I am the IT manager of XYZ company. Is that what you said on your LinkedIn? Well, I've got bad news for you. If that is what's on your LinkedIn, nobody cares. You see, the person that's on your profile, they just visited your profile, is here for his reasons, not yours. And telling him that you're a CEO of your company is, he doesn't care about that. It makes no difference in his life. What he wants to know is, what's in it for me? Why must I spend any more time on your profile than the 3 seconds I afforded you? So this headline is extremely important because this is your one chance to push them down your profile funnel so that they want to go down and see more. So this is very important that you get this headline right. Now, there is a couple of ways that you can set it up. And what I normally advocate is there's 3 types of headlines that you need to focus on, and you can choose one of them. The 3 types of headlines, instead of saying your job title and your company name, is customer-centric, egocentric, or your mission statement. Now, customer-centric is what I opted for, and most of the LinkedIn specialists would tell you that is the ideal that you should go for. And a customer-centric headline normally has got a very, very specific way in setting it up. So the first thing you want to do is you want to call out your ideal client. One ideal client. So you want to speak to one person directly. When they land on your profile, they want to say, yes, I am a business executive. She's talking to me. I could have said IT professionals. I could have said IT managers. I could have said CEOs. I'm calling out my ideal client the person that I am going to help. So the first area that you need to do is who in a customer-centric headline. Who are you speaking to? The second area is you need to give them what they're going to achieve or what benefit they're going to get from engaging with you any further. So the first area is who. The second area is what. What is in it for me is the question in their mind. Answer that question as quick as you can. Well, what's in it for you, if you land on my profile, is to increase your LinkedIn sales opportunities by 35%. So that is the second area that you need to answer. And then the third area in your customer-centric is the how. I've now spoken to a specific person. I told him what he's going to get if he engages with me. And just for credibility, so that it doesn't hang in the air, I told him how we do this. So now with the customer-centric kind of headline, the person is clearly getting to a point where it says, this is me, that is what I want to know. That is my problem. I have never had sales opportunities on LinkedIn, so if I can increase that by 45%, that would be very, very cool. So that is what you want to do. So these are the 4 areas that you need to have, absolutely must have on your profile as your personal branding in order to grab that attention within 3 seconds and create enough interest for them to go any further. So I showed you that LinkedIn, in fact, was built like a funnel. And that funnel has been created so that when you attract people to your profile, they go through the 3 seconds and they decide, this is for me. I want to know more. And they follow you or they decide to connect with you straight away. You can then start building relationships with them and you can start engaging with them and tell them what you're all about as the ambassador of your business. Now, when that relationship is starting to become a mutual relationship, we then need to start pushing them down into the funnel where we are going to show them our business. Because the second layer in our funnel is the page where our business is. Now, I want to show you, look how clever LinkedIn has done this for you. And I bet you've never seen this before. So a person is on my profile, he sees my content, he engages with me, and so on. And at a point, he now goes and looks at my experience and he says, this is cool. So if he clicks on this, guess where he is going? To the second layer of the funnel that LinkedIn created for us. So now he is in my page. And here is where I'm now going to build the business branding. My page is all about the business. And like the profile, I am now going to go and introduce this person into my business and my business branding, what my business can do for him, what products we have, what our team consists of, what our goals are, what our mission statement is, how we service our clients. I'm going to educate him all about my business, and he's now going to take that personal relationship he had with me as the ambassador of this business, and he's going to deepen that relationship where he's going to now start having it with me on my page. Now, if you look at the page, just like with a profile, we have the above the fold. Now, if you view this as a member and not as the admin, you can then see what the person is going to see when he lands on your page. Now, the first thing is, just like with your profile, he is going to see your banner. And this is your business banner. And I want you to notice that the banner on your page is bigger than the banner on your profile. So you can't just go and take your profile banner and try and fit it into here. Besides, your profile banner was designed for personal branding for you as the ambassador of the business. The business banner, the page banner, was designed for your business. So as with a profile banner, we're going to create a soft advert. And we're going to tell them what our business can do for them. And again, it's a soft advert. We're not going to go in with a hard advert of follow us and get 20% discount. We just want to tell them what our business focus is and how our business can help them solve the problems and the solutions they're looking for. We also have in here our logo. So what you want to do is in the logo, you want to now start doing business branding. I always call it, you want to create that familiarity. They're now used to your profile and your profile picture and the banner. They need to now get used to your business and your business logo. Almost like becoming a Coca-Cola brand. You know, if I say Coca-Cola brand, you see exactly what I'm talking about. You want them to get used to your brand that way as well, because this is a branding exercise. On your business, on your page, you're also going to have the opportunity to go in and then create your tagline and tell them more about what your business is about and what they can achieve. So just as I showed you the 4 critical areas on your profile, you've got the 4 critical areas on your page. And that is your banner with your banner message, your logo so that you can start doing business branding, and then your tagline where you can then go in and tell them what it is that your business can do for them. Now, unlike with your profile where we have different kinds of ways to do your headline, we normally go in with something very crisp, very punchy, telling them what they're going to achieve with your tagline. The next area that they will then go to is your about. And this is the next very critical area that is extremely important, where they're going to go in and you can now explain to them what your business is about. As you've gone through your profile and explained to them how your profile works, you can now on your page go and explain what your business is about. Now, some people will go and copy and paste their about us on their website into their page, and that is quite doable. However, I always advise people, you can do 2,000 characters here. Keep it between 500 and 1,000. Why? Because you do not want to create a huge long story about what this is all about. People don't read that much. You want to grab their attention quickly so that they follow you and start this relationship with you. Very important that you keep this to the point and business and professional like, so that they can understand the difference between your profile as your personal branding and your page as your business branding. So those are the 4 critical areas in your page that you need to focus on. Now, I want to show you the beauty of LinkedIn and why we call it such a science. Once they start building relationships with you, and they with your business brand, and they start following you, engaging with your content and so on, guess what is the next step? The next step is your group. And can you see how LinkedIn has actually connected all of these together like a funnel? Now, when you get to your group, you will see that the group is very similar to your profile as well as your page. Again, you have a banner, and it's a lot smaller than the profile and the page, where you can go and do create an identity for your group. It doesn't have to be your business name. It doesn't have to be your business logo. It doesn't have to be a product or your services. It could be, but it could also be a course or something, a problem that you're sorting out for people. So the banner here is just to create activity on your group for your people. I always advise, do use a logo as well, because you want to create the difference between your personal branding, which is your profile image, your business branding, which is your page logo, and your group, where you use a specific logo on your group as well. And the difference between the group, the page, and the profile is very simple. The profile focuses on personal branding. It focuses on building that intimate relationship with your connections. Your business is for a business branding, and it highlights your business services, products, structures, what problems your business is solving for the people. Your group is what I call a Me Too environment. This is your tribe. This is your community. This is not a dumping ground for your content. This is not somewhere that you can keep on advertising and saying, buy my stuff. The main thing that I want you to take away today from this masterclass is the group is there to build a community. Now, the beauty of the group is that you can put all of your customers in there, like I do, and then your customers start the conversation with each other. Now what happens is you're building a funnel from your profile to your page to your group, and these could be prospects, it could be potential leads, it could be potential clients, but they are with your customers in this community. Now people are starting to see how you engage and how you interact and with your customers. And if they're not your customer yet, they go like, me too, I want also some of this. This looks like really a complete solution for my business. And this way your customers almost becomes like active referrers of your business on a daily basis to everybody else that's in your group that's not a customer yet. And this is where the science comes in, because this is where we can then predictably, and it will generate leads and customers on LinkedIn. Now, the group layout is very simple. On the left-hand side, it's all my stuff. So if somebody lands on my group because they've seen a group post or something and they decided to connect with me, they can always go back. And you guessed it, LinkedIn is perfectly structured as your marketing tool. So they can always go back and join my personal branding, my profile, and start the relationship with me and start with a funnel again. So this is why on the left-hand side, we've got all my stuff. On the right-hand side is all about the group stuff. So here we can invite our connections. And I always warn people, don't go and play a numbers game. This is not a numbers game. It is a relationship building game. Don't just go and invite all 9,000 plus of your connections. Only the ones that is your tribe and that will be part of your community. So don't just go and invite people. Sometimes for them to follow the natural funnel, works well. Sometimes you need a little bit of a nudge where you invite people from your profile to go to your page, or from your page to go to your group. But let it naturally happen. And if you do invite people to your group, let it be because they engage with you. There's a relationship with you, and you feel that they've engaged with you on your profile, they've engaged with you on your page. They will definitely be a good fit for your group and your group activities. You want to go in and you want to create what this group is about. So you want to tell people, if you join this group, this is what we're about. When you go into a group, before you join, you can see this. So you want to tell people what your group is about and what your objectives are as a community. So what is this community all about? And then you also want to go and detail the rules of the group and what the rules can do for you. So those are the areas that's then important, that you need to say, if you join this group, you cannot post links, you cannot go and spam other group members, you cannot do this, you cannot do that, and you need to stipulate the groups over here. And then in the middle, you have the post updates, where we now engage and connect with one another within the group. Now that is the actual structure of LinkedIn, a funnel. It is not optional. I'm getting a page, maybe this, maybe that. First of all, and I've used this picture specifically, when you start with LinkedIn, you set up your profile in the right way. So you make sure that you've got all of those 4 critical elements above the fold, and then you set the rest of your profile up in the right way. It is very possible that at that stage you can start generating leads and clients, and we do. But that is 2 to 5% of our connections. So for the 95 to 98% that do not become a lead and do not become a client, we then filter them through to our page. Where we can then continue marketing to them, but this time more focused on our business solutions. And that is important, because first you're an ambassador and they build a relationship with you. Why? People buy from people. Once a relationship is embedded and they didn't become a lead, you then funnel them through to your page, where you show them the good stuff that your business is all about. You educate them, you entertain them, you show them what you can do for them, and they could very well become a lead or a client once they start following your page and they see what your business can do for you. If they go through to don't become a lead or client, you then filter them through to your group, where they become part of your community. They see how you engage and they become part of the conversation. And that is when they drop down and they become leads and ultimately clients by this Me Too kind of situation. Drop me a comment in the chat and tell me if you've ever seen or used LinkedIn this way. This is how we generate clients and leads at will, predictably, using LinkedIn as the ultimate marketing tool for your business. It just works, guys. So once you have the structure, so let me take you through. The first thing you need to do is configure LinkedIn to act in the way that you want it to act as your marketing tool. Don't just take their defaults. It is for their users, not yours. So that is the first step. The second step is you go in and you set up LinkedIn as the perfect funnel for your business. Finding the right connections, building relationships with them, funnel them through to your page, funnel them through to your group, making them your clients. Now, while you're busy setting all of this up, there is a very critical third step. Now, the third step is, while we're building the connections and building these relationships, either personal or within your brand or within your community, you need to nurture them. You need to keep the conversation going. And this is what I call content. Now, I fondly refer to content as the universal language of the online world. And this is now where we are going to need to learn to speak content. Because if you go and build these connections and build these funnels, but you never talk to anybody, if you never post updates, if you never post articles, you're nothing more than a deaf mute. So what you want to do is you want to start creating content that you're now going to post on your profile so that you can do this personal branding and start creating personal relationships with your connection on your page. You're going to create content for your page where the people that's funneled through to your page, you can nurture them and show them more about your page. And you're going to start creating conversations in your group by posting content in your group so that you can speak content to your followers. Now, there are 3 steps in the content that I want to show you. The first is people always ask me, but what type of content? What do I say? How do I say it? Well, there's 2 types of content that works beautifully, and it always works. And I call it edutainment. And it actually stands for education and entertainment. Now, education is you need to tell them who you are. You need to educate them. You need to give them huge, huge value. You need to explain to them how things work in your personal branding, in your page, in your group. You need to explain to them how your business works. You need to give them so much value that they must sit back and say, I should have paid for this. I actually feel guilty. So you need to educate them on your business, on your offer, on the solutions that you provide, on the problems that you're solving for them. Very important. The second one is you need to go in and you need to entertain them. Now, every time I say entertainment, people go and say to me, Tilly, do I now have to do inspiration, quotes, humor, tell them a joke? What am I supposed to do? Well, there's one type of entertainment that I have used so successfully, and I get huge engagement every time I do this. Tell the story. Instead of doing a case study and just tell the case study, tell the story. Now, a story always on LinkedIn has got 3 areas. And the 3 areas is, or the 3 levels is, where were they? Where was your customer when you met him the first time? Then what happened? What did you and the customer do together? And then lastly, where are they now? So what was the result of all this engagement? Now, Esty told a very beautiful story around Roy, and she used these 3 levels. Where was Roy when we met him? What did we do for Roy, and where's Roy now? Happily sitting with 15 leads per day every single day, following the 21 steps. So that is extremely important. The other 2 areas, I want to take you over to my LinkedIn and show you how this works, because we now need to go in and we need to start engaging with our customers. Now, there's a big mistake that most people make. When I start talking about engagement, everybody seems to understand that when we engage with our audience, with our connections, with our followers, with our group members, what they're going to do is they're going to engage. So they go to the homepage on LinkedIn, and this is what they do. And tell me in the chat if this is something you've done as well. So they will go down, okay, I like this one, and then this one I will share, and this one I will comment on, and this one, not quite. This is not engagement. What you want to do is you want to build that relationship. So this is what you need to do. In my case, I go for marketing. So this is my keyword. So I want to attract people that is going to be interested in marketing. So I'm searching for marketing. And what I want is I want to find all the content available on marketing specific. But I'm not interested in the second or third degree. Now, for those that's new to LinkedIn, that doesn't understand our networks that we're building, the people that's connected to me is my first connections. The people that's connected to my first connections will be my second connections. And the people that's connected to my second connections will be my third connections, and that's my entire network. But I want to build relationships only with those people that's connected to me. So this is what I do. So now I'm going to go out and I'm going to select the all filters, and I'm going to select first connections, and I'm going to select apply. Now I can go and engage and start building relationships with my first connections and everybody that's posting around the keywords I'm interested in. Now, when I go and I engage, and I happen to know this person, if I want to go and engage with Jacques, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read his post. Now, when Jacques posted this, he had an objective. He wants to create engagement for a specific reason, but I know Jacques, he does a lot of copywriting. So he's probably going out and he's busy educating his audience on copywriting. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to like it, and then I'm going to leave him a comment. But instead of just going, nice post, love your posts always, great post, cool, or whatever people go out and normally comment, I'm going to ask Jacques a question. So I'm going to say, I'm going to read his post and ask him, why did you lose your shit on Facebook, Jacques? What happened? Or I'm going to ask him a specific question in his post so that he needs to answer me. Why? Because this is how LinkedIn algorithms work. The minute we start a conversation with each other, Jacques is going to get more exposure and more post views, and we can ultimately start a huge group conversation with us. Now Jacques is starting to like me because I help him. And next time I'm posting a content, he's going to like my post. Why? Well, this is how we as humans work. But this is relationship building. And this is extremely important. And I want you to, when next time you go out and you go and you do engagement like this, what I want you to focus on is assisting your first connections. Build that relationship. Let it have some kind of purpose. Now, the only other one that I want to show you that's extremely important, it doesn't help that we speak content and as the universal language, and we create all of this content, we post it on our profile, we post it on our page, and we sit back and we say, nothing happens. You see, LinkedIn doesn't work. And nothing ever happens. Well, you need to go out and you actually need to go and start distributing this. So how do you then go and distribute your content? Well, this is where what I call group work. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into a group and you're then going to start engaging with them. So please, if this is the only thing you take away from this masterclass today, let it be this one. Please don't use other people's groups as your dumping ground for your posts and your articles and your blogs. Follow LinkedIn's guidance. They showed us how this actually works for them. So what you want to do is do exactly as LinkedIn is guiding us. Start the conversation. So I want to take them through and I want to show them a post of mine, an article of mine. So what you're going to do is you go in and you're going to start the conversation, and this is what you're going to say. I just wrote this awesome post about the 21 steps to create abundant customers on LinkedIn. If you're interested in learning more about it, type abundant customers in the comments and I'll give you the link to the post. Or I've just done this great article about how to get more sales opportunities in LinkedIn. I will post the link in the comments if you're interested. So you're going to start creating the conversation so that you can help people. This is one of those groups I always use as an example. Just look at this person, and this is one of the members of this group. Hello, everyone. I'm excited to be part of this group. She obviously just joined. As a matter of fact, this is one of the most successful groups on LinkedIn, and I fondly use it as an example always. And you can see the members are asking the questions. The members are starting to create a conversation. So this is how you then distribute your content on LinkedIn. And because you can't just sit and hope that everybody is going to see your post updates and your articles that you publish on LinkedIn, you have to go out and tell them that it exists. But tell them, don't spam them. And don't use other people's groups for that. You know, I said that content is the universal language of the online world. And the one thing I want you to think about is when you post content, try to be interested in them. Stop trying to be interesting. A lot of people try to be interesting by creating these huge stories and telling them all about yourself and your business and all of those things. Be interested in what their needs are. And once you adopt this philosophy on LinkedIn, you will be hugely, absolutely hugely successful. Now, I just want to stand still for 2 seconds and tell you about my Jeremy story, because this is the first time I actually got fired because we were doing too well. You see, we met with Jeremy in August last year, and he was running a financial concern in Australia. Now, when I met with Jeremy, he was very skeptical about LinkedIn. As a matter of fact, he felt that LinkedIn was nothing but a waste of time. He tried his luck on it a number of times. He even spent money on LinkedIn, and it never ever worked for him. So when I explained our done-for-you service to him, he was more than skeptical. He was like, "You're right. I've heard this before." But he was looking at growing his business, and he gave us an opportunity. Well, by the end of November, we generated 487 leads for him. He made over 500,000 Australian dollars, and we had to stop the service because he had to go in and structure and implement the correct sales structures so that he could assist the amount of interest that our campaigns and the 21 steps generated for him. So as a bonus, Esty promised that I will give you some bonuses. As a bonus, I said that I spent the last 12 years doing this on LinkedIn. And I have found there's a couple of things and a couple of scenarios that once we achieve this, we generate leads. It's a given. If I take on a client, these are what we're driving towards. As soon as we've met all of these, we generate leads. Now, interesting for yourself, take a piece of paper and a pen and just write yes or no. But I'll ask you these questions and show you this is what's needed on LinkedIn. Do you have a banner on your profile, especially your profile, because that's where the relationships start, with a text message? Do you have a professional profile image that looks a person in the eye virtually? Can you, when you squiz over your LinkedIn, see the keyword that you want to be found for at least 10 times? At least 10 times. Scroll down your profile. Do that little exercise for yourself. Count how many times do you see your keyword. Do you have more than 1,000 profile views? Esty mentioned this as well. It is crucial. It is important. Why? We are driving traffic to our profile so that we can start building relationships that will result ultimately in clients. 1,000 is the magic figure. We found that once we hit 1,000 and we keep our profile views at 1,000, we generate leads, we generate clients every single time. Does your post updates get more than 100 views? Guys, it actually should be 10 times this, but you know how many people battle to get above 10 post views? Do you get 100 and more? Do you have a LinkedIn page that has more than 500 followers? Did you start using this funnel? That is what it's about, because once you start using this funnel, your LinkedIn activity will start increasing and will start growing. Do you receive more than 10 connection requests a week? Again, this should be 10 times this. But are you attracting the right people to you, and are they connecting with you? My profile focuses on the clients I wish to attract. Are you connecting with the right clients, or do you go for the shotgun approach? And anybody that wants to connect, you say yes. And you will connect with anybody because you think that having a 30,000 connections is the magic number. It's not. You can generate leads and clients with 1,000 connections, with 500 connections, if it's the right clients. Do you post at least one update or one article per day? Or are you a deaf mute on LinkedIn? You've got to speak content. It's the universal language. You've got to educate people. And do you currently generate leads on LinkedIn? In other words, LinkedIn is perfect. It is your marketing tool of choice. If you said no to any one of these, then I bet you that you haven't implemented the 21 consecutive steps that will give you leads and clients at will. Now, to take you through the 21 steps, I'm going to hand you back to Esty, and I thank you for your time and the time I could spend with you showing you all about this. Esty, back to you.
Thanks so much, Tilly. And I know we've got a couple of more extra bonuses that we will be sharing at the end of the masterclass. So guys, keep staying because I do convince Tilly. And a couple of questions have come up in the chats where you guys have asked some very, very nice questions. So we're going to be going through those as well to give you guys a little bit more clarity. I know we've gone through some content quite quickly, but what I really want to just let you guys know is the way Tilly's approached this, and in terms of how this is an absolute science, I want to leave you with the thought that you just need to master. You can't start at step 21 and then do step 4, then go to step 17, go to 7, and then wonder why on earth the clients are not falling out of the sky. And based on the masterclass that we've done, we found that teaching the 3 steps is absolutely fundamental to getting you guys on the right step. However, that a lot of people were asking, I need access to these 21 steps, please. I don't know where to start. I'm feeling overwhelmed. What do I do? I need my business to grow, and so forth. So what we've done is we've introduced a product called LinkedInacity. And it is a 7-day process where we go through every single step one by one and help you to master the content, the tactics, how to implement, and so forth, so that you're able to, by the end of 7 days, have a working LinkedIn profile and business page that is able to start generating you some leads. So, I mean, just imagine after these 7 days that you guys are able to be a Roy, post Roy, not beginning Roy. And that you've set up this business system that systematically just churns out leads, guys. Can you imagine being in that position? Can you imagine being able to have a loyal community, set up those groups, and have people buy from you no matter what, because you've added value, you've added that engagement. They trust and love you. You're not the freaky dude in the bar that walks up and proposes marriage on the first date. So we have two options, because depending on where your business is at and how you want to consume content, we've developed two. LinkedIn Digital is immediate access to 21 recorded sessions. It's a step 1, 2, step 20, 21, and it's over-the-shoulder training. It is not PowerPoint training. We don't throw reams and reams of content at you. Tilly literally goes into her LinkedIn profile and some of her clients' LinkedIn profiles and teaches you how to do step by step to master and to implement it correctly. And then when you've got questions and so forth, we've got a private Facebook group for you that you pop on. Tilly, Esty, Brian, I need help. Please review this profile. I don't know what to do here. Does this headline work? What content do I do? So all your FAQs, we've got a whole lot pre-recorded, but you can just pop into the Facebook group as well and go and ask those. All the pre-developed content, templates, bonuses, lifetime access, and you can do it whenever you want, on your own time. And I know a lot of you guys are stretched for time. So this is really if you want to, spend your own time and focus and consume the recordings as you would wish. Then we got LinkedIn Live, which is by far our most popular. And the reason it is so popular is because it's small, intimate classes, and you have us for 7 days, about 2 hours a day. So all three of us are on the call with you. We keep the classes really, really small because we want to spend individual time with you guys, help you set up your profiles properly, go through the teachings. There's a lot of Q&A that happens right on the spot, and we answer absolutely every question right there and then before we move on to the next. Also, lifetime access. You get the recordings through the the membership sites. Over 50 hours of content, guys, and actually every month it just increases as we go. Private Facebook group, templates and bonuses, and so forth. So it really is a live, interactive, immersive mentorship. And then LinkedIn Digital is on-demand content that you can consume right away. So I just quickly want to take you through the 21 steps, guys, and we've broken them into 7 modules. And in live, we deal with one module at a time, 3 steps in a module. Same on LinkedIn Digital. And as soon as you've mastered the module on 1 or 2 or 3, you then move on to the next. So Tilly explained account settings to you guys. Fundamental. This is what most people don't do. And if this is not set up correctly, then you can't get the lead generation that you need to. You don't get the channel working for you. It then just is an online CV. Profile. This is where a lot of guys fall short. Again, with the online CV, how do you edit your banner? What your profile headliner should be? How do you use keywords? Where do you use them? What do you use them for? LinkedIn page. And in the chat after this, what we're going to do is answer some questions, because a lot of you guys are slightly confused between the profile, the page, the groups, and so forth. How does the page fit into everything? Why is it important? Why can you not get away with not having a page? The traffic. No point in having these awesome profiles and pages and no one actually comes and visits and engages with your content. So we take you through content calendars, teaching you about that, how to turn one piece of content into 7 different pieces of content, how the different content needs to be on your profile versus your group versus your page. Content and messages. And like I said earlier, guys, we don't do automated messages, but we provide you with customizable templates for your industry, applicable to those. And it's based on content and messaging and so forth that we've used in our businesses and for our clients. So it's not stuff that we've gone and Googled. This is through 15 odd years of experience of what works and what a good converting message should be and how to tweak and where to find where the errors are. And then measurement. You can't fix anything that you don't know where it's wrong. And this is, you want to be able to tweak a word and figure out what line needs to be done. This is a very critical part. And then, of course, we've thrown a whole lot of bonuses because we want you guys to be successful. Ultimate templates, LinkedIn evaluators, seeing where things go wrong. You get a workbook with notes, copious and copious of notes, guys, that you can go back to. Lifetime access. You can use it for the rest of your life. We don't remove any access whatsoever, and we'll even provide you guys with updates going forward when things change. And we know channels change quite a bit. So before I go into anything else, I just quickly want to share this video with you guys so that you can just see how other people have experienced this.
So to you guys, a huge thumb up. I will recommend you to, not my competitors, but any other people. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
Way exceeded my expectations. Really, I'm speechless.
And I think you've gone beyond, over and above, beyond in your generosity with your material and the time.
It has been extremely beneficial. I'm sure we're going to bring in lots of leads.
My side, thanks so much. I found it very helpful. I must be honest with you. I think the most helpful thing was me watching other people's profiles and learning from them, and then changing mine accordingly. So they went through the embarrassment while I just changed mine in the background. But yeah, super helpful. And from my side as well, I've been recommending it to everybody I know. And yeah, I mean, I didn't realize LinkedIn was so powerful until I did this course, and that's what I'm telling everybody. So thanks from my side as well.
This is the only opportunity that I think I have to actually build a relationship with my customers and potential customers and close the sale, because that's what it boils down to. No other platform that I've been playing with and spending money on and spending a lot of time on can do this, because this is really relationship building, customer to customer. I mean, person to person. I know it's business to business, but it's person to person. As Tilly was saying, they don't deal with with businesses, they deal with people. And there's no other platform that can do this. And the effort and the knowledge that you shared, I don't know, I think it was quite an affordable exercise for us. Maybe if it was me, I'll be charging a bit more.
I've done very little on my profile in terms of reaching out and stuff, but I've already had one massive lead from discovery. So just doing those one or two little things has led to a massive, massive, massive potential account. So it's very cool. Thank you.
And I think that's something to really hang on to. That sense of purpose that you can go out into. We know it's not going to be the same in the future and so on, but that sense of purpose just gives you confidence. So yes, it's a big thank you.
So guys, you can just see there what some of the students have experienced and how they've really, benefit from the course. And I know we've got a couple of questions from you guys in terms of, is this applicable for my business? And we're going to be going through that in the Q&A. So stick around for that. But just so that you see what we've got from a digital perspective, a revert of the same training as live, all the recordings, the bonuses, you've got lifetime access, but it is pre-recorded. You've got your FAQs that we're going to have done and so forth. And it's over 20 grand worth of value, guys. You've heard the guys in the testimonials say we charge too little. So 1497 for that. And then Linked Tenacity Live, which is a live mentorship with us. It's over 90 minutes a day. Some days we go for 2 hours. Everything is also recorded, live access. We work with you step by step over the shoulder. But actually, you know what? We've had an outpouring of guys going, well, please, I'd love to do this. I'm cash strapped at the moment, and I would really like to do live, even though the digital is valuable. I'd like to do the live. So what we've done is we've gone and slashed 2 grand off Linked Tenacity Live. So it's you can go and book your slot absolutely now. You see there'll be 2 options for digital and live. And yes, we've slashed this really down, guys. But what I just need to make sure that you understand is that besides this 30-day money-back guarantee that we offer, because we are so confident in our products and in our courses, that we only have, I think it is about 20 odd spaces for Linked Tenacity Live left. They've filled up so fast. So if you want to get access to Linked Tenacity Live at the really ridiculous, 2997, you need a book within the next day, even today, because we're going to run out of spots. And then unfortunately, we can't take any more. But Linked Tenacity Digital is just as powerful, guys. On demand, you can do the training when and however you need to and consume that content. But I want to ask you guys, if all this course, like our testimonials have come through and the students that have passed through, was generate extra leads for you in your business, would the investment be worth it? If all it did was just prevent you from shutting down, and we've heard, it's not just the SMEs that are struggling, it's the large guys as well. Surely this investment would be worth it. And like Tilly said, we're not trainers. We are practitioners. We use the same system and content and templates and methodologies that we use with our clients every single day. So we know what works, because if it doesn't work, we get fired by our clients for non-performance. And we haven't been fired unless clients have said, please stop, I can't deal with any more leads. So we're not going to be using PowerPoint presentations for you guys. So you got two choices. You can, like in the chat, a lot of guys have got, oh my word, I never knew this. This is brilliant. I don't know, this is mind-blowing. Go and implement the 3 steps and the rest of the content that we've taught you today. Or you can take this opportunity by the horns and invest in yourself and invest in your business. And like these folk, go and experience LinkedInacity Live or LinkedInacity Digital and go book your spot and really take your business to the absolute next level in the correct way. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to Q&A, where we're going to answer. There's a whole lot of questions that came up, and Tilly's got some bonus tidbits as well. So stick around for that. But what I'm also going to do, just to sweeten the deal for you guys, if you go and you purchase and you invest in yourself and you invest in your business, we want to support that and to recognize that. So go and purchase. Come back into the chat. Let me know that you have actually bought. And what I will then do is at the end of this session, I'm going to be gifting an additional course to someone. So if Joe Soap has bought, come back, Joe Soap. Let me know. We're going to do a lucky draw, and we're going to be gifting an additional course to someone so that we can get this system out to as many people as possible. So what I'm going to do now is pop over to the chat. That special offer, guys, is only available until the chat finishes. So when we finish this call, the special offer is unfortunately over. So go right now and go and invest in yourself. Right, Silly. Sunday Seaway would like to know, when your business starts engaging with both national and international customers, what currency do you use for effective costing?
Well, that's an interesting question. I would say that in my experience, we would use dollars. So that is probably the best currency that you can use if you focus on international and national market, if you cannot differentiate between the rand and the dollar.
100%. Then, Barry, does it work for teaching English to foreign students? And this is applicable, the question is applicable to a lot of guys, so please listen up.
Okay, the thing is as such with LinkedIn that I want you to consider, it's a business-to-business platform. So what it's going to focus on is if your product and services is for another business, then this is an ideal platform for you. It does work for business to consumer, but the success ratio currently is measured at around 37%. What we do sometimes is, if there is a way that we can turn your product or service to become a business-to-business kind of offer, we would rather do that than you coming in with business to consumer. If you focus on the end user with your product, probably Facebook would be a better option for you.
100%. And we do also, provide some information on that, because both Brian and I are Facebook experts. So while this is for business to business, we have systems in place during the LinkedInacity Live to support you to understand how you can maximize all the channels at your disposal. Monet wants to know, and this is also a question that comes up all the time, must you have premium membership for this to work?
It is recommended. It's not necessarily needed, but it is recommended. And the reason why it's recommended is because you want to reach your ideal client. Now, the search facilities in LinkedIn without premium or sales navigator is very, very limited. So the recommendation is that you use a sales navigator specifically for the search facility. The premium option is an in-between between the free version of LinkedIn Searches and Sales Navigator, and I do not recommend the premium version. I actually think at some point they will stop using that or making it available, because it's really not worth investing in the premium site. Your options are very, very limited. So the recommended option here is Sales Navigator.
Emma would like to know, will this work for a life coach and registered counselor?
We currently do have a number of life coaches as clients of ours. So again, the answer is very simple. If you focus on business to business kind of operations, your service can work on LinkedIn no matter what industry you're in or what your focus is.
Then Brenda would like to know, can we use the business page to invite connections?
No, you invite connections on the profile. You ask people to follow your page. So the first relationship on LinkedIn is always the connection with your profile.
So, and one thing that comes up quite often for us, Tilly, is how do you know when things are not working as should? It's so, you know, I'm posting content, I'm doing everything I think I'm supposed to be doing. How do I look at the stats to understand actually I'm not achieving what I should be achieving?
Well, I did give you the 10 measurements that we use. There's a couple more of them, but I think the ultimate measurement is, do you generate leads? If you don't generate leads, then something seriously is wrong, and you need to have a look at realigning your activities, because that's why we're here. We're on LinkedIn to grow our businesses. It is a marketing tool.
And then on that, Daryl wanted to know what percentage of the leads generated by LinkedIn, if you do this properly, turn into actual clients, so into money.
Daryl, that will be dependent on the industry that you're in, but we always work on a ratio that everything that we do on LinkedIn has to be above 50-60%, otherwise you're wasting your time. So every conversion measure that we use, we want to get above 50 to 60%. In other words, if I invite people to connect with me, I want that conversion to be above 50 to 60%. When I build the relationships and I get to the point of getting into lead generation, then those kind of relationships, we want to be above 50%. Otherwise, we're wasting our time.
Okay, so there's a bit of so just a couple of questions for me. The next live course, unfortunately, the one we've got booked for the 14th of May is absolutely chock-a-block. We don't take any more because otherwise we can't give you guys the ultimate experience. So the next live course starts on the 1st of June. But like I said, the 2997 is not going to be staying up. You guys can see in previous recordings that we've done, we actually charge 4997. So I'm not pulling a marketing chain here. That's our normal price. So please take advantage of this so that you can get the benefit of the live coaching. Well, Ricky wants to know, does it work on very small businesses?
I have got solopreneurs that are very, very successful on LinkedIn. So even for a one-man show, if you follow the 21 steps, it will work. It's a marketing tool.
Right, let's have a look here. When does the live start? Is it a once-off? Yes, it's 7 days, guys. We give you the weekend off so that you can consume the content, but we work with you for 7 days. And the reason we do this over 7 days is none of us are in a position to be wasting time. So we want you up and going and getting the absolute value out of this channel as quickly as possible. So Sunday Siwe, I think we've answered your question. Tilly, the guys wanted to know, quite a few of them, is how do you start a group?
Basically, when you to create a group is very simple. If you go to the work tab next to the me tab where your little picture is, if you click on that, you'll see there's an option in where the icons are that says groups. If you click on that, on the right-hand corner, it says create a group. So it's very, very easy to create a group. To start a group, you must go in and you can advertise for people to join your group. Like I said, when I explained the group philosophy, when people engage with you and they interact with you on your content, it's an ideal situation where you can see that this person is really going to add value to your group, and then you can invite him to your group. And it could be a message, or you can use the invite option via your group. I normally message people and explain to them what we do in the group and why I think that they would be a huge asset to my group and why they would reap huge benefits in being in the group.
We've got a couple of guys that have questions, and absolutely, guys, if you've got questions for us, we are 100% happy to answer those. We can even put you in contact with some past students so that you can get the real experience. I've popped the email address in the actual chat, info@boostsales.co.za. Touch base with us so that we can help you answer anything you need to get answered, so that we can make sure that this is the right fit for you. If I take option 1, digital, can I still contact Boost directly to get advice and help? Emma, unfortunately not. You have the Facebook group where you can answer questions, but that's the only place we really will go and chat. The reason is because there's a very vast amount of people that take LinkedIn Tenacity digital. It's just not possible for us to get through to everyone. That's why our LinkedIn Tenacity Live is preferred at this stage to get things up going. Welcome, Jill. There's quite a lot of guys that have followed up. Trudy's here, Heike's here, Linda's there, Gwyn. Gwyn, will it be possible to comment on structures? I'm operating a national level and various level of client. Gwyn, I'm not 100% sure what you're asking. If you can just give us a little bit more information, please, then we can help you. Fritz wants to know, between digital live, will the content be the same? Absolutely, Fritz. The content is exactly the same. However, for digital, it is just recordings. For live, it is live mentorship, and you get us, for the 90 minutes or so. I can imagine my own, really think about if it works for an NPOs. Yes, we've got a lot of NPOs doing this. Say, Tilly, maybe you can give some insight.
Yes, we've got a number of NPOs at the moment in LinkedIn. And like I said before, guys, the thing is that you need to realize that LinkedIn as a marketing tool works if you follow the 21 steps, no matter what type of concern you are. The only time that we advise you to consider is if it's business to consumer.
Cool. Lisa, I didn't get where the group icon is. I was busy buying. No problem. Just for that, we will just quickly re-explain to you, Lisa, where to get that group icon.
Lisa, what you do is, if you're in your LinkedIn, on the top menu system, you get what we call the Me tab. That's where your little picture is. Right next to that, on the right-hand side, is the work. It says work. So if you click on work, you'll get a drop-down menu, and there's a lot of icons first. Look for the icon that says group. Normally, it's in the middle on the second level. When you click on group, it will open up all the groups that you are linked to, and on the right-hand corner at the top, it says create a group. That is where you should go.
Cool. Michelle wants to know, when does live training start and time of day? So our live training will start the 1st of June, and the training is normally 11 o'clock, 3 o'clock. It just depends on the group, and that's why we keep it small, so that you guys can input as to when it actually suits you, because I know things are changing all the time with time frames and work and kids and so forth. That's why we keep LinkedIn Tenacity Live so really small. Veronica wants to know, do I invite clients to the group? Some are opposition.
I won't invite my competitors to my group, but I most definitely invite my clients to my group. And one of the reasons I invite my clients to the group is I use it as a value-added service. So if there's any questions they have or anything that I can assist with, so almost like a customer service portal. And that's why I would always invite my clients to my group.
Tilly, maybe you can also just explain as well for guys, you know, a lot of people are in the eventing business and so forth, and things have had to go online. How powerful is LinkedIn in terms of online events and making sure that you're able to get it, you know, filled up classes?
Well, Esty, you know, I actually started with LinkedIn on events. It is probably, if you're in the event industry, it's probably one of the best tools that you can use to get bumps on seats. It is so easy because you can, well, currently LinkedIn just launched the event option as well. You can now create an event on LinkedIn. But even before they did that, to reach your ideal audience for your event was so easy, and to invite them and engage with them is really, this is the platform if you're into event organizing and hosting. Very powerful.
Janelle wants to know if you do original post content twice a week, is that sufficient with sharing inside articles in between? This is a tricky one, Janelle, because, you know, people have always thought, same with Facebook, the more you post, the better. That is true, but the problem is that a lot of people then they're posting crap content, excuse my French. So if you are not posting engaging content based on who it is you want to ideally target, less is probably better than more. Rather do proper content, reshare proper content, make your comments when you reshare, don't just reshare content. Because this is not just a mundane, let's post stuff and see how it goes. LinkedIn doesn't work like that. You have to put in the effort and you have to put in the work. And that's why the courses are so critical, because it teaches you how to actually do that and to get the maximum exposure. Goodbye, Grant. Oh gosh, there's lots of people that have bought. We need to just have a look at all of those. Brian, you're going to have to just go through and check all the ones that have come in and said that they've bought, so that we can do that lucky draw. We have 5 minutes left on this call, guys. So if there are any other questions, Gwen says, I specialize in supply chain traceability for agri-products. At a LinkedIn level, I want to target retailers, packaging, and ad. My question would be whether to use less developed interactions of Facebook. Can I link to Facebook? Facebook is not your channel here, Gwen. LinkedIn is your channel. Not ideal for you to be using LinkedIn. Janelle, I'm glad that helps. Meryl wants to, please could LinkedIn enable being to change font formatting in posts? I don't think they will at this moment, but yeah, LinkedIn is a bit like an island on its own. They really do. You know, they don't have much competition. So that's why it's so important to understand the channel and to make sure that you are getting the benefit of it, because they really just do implement what it is that they want. Look at how long it took them to implement emojis. Right. Any other questions, guys, that we need to answer before we are going to gift? Actually, Brian's come back. We are going to gift a live and a digital course. Brian is feeling, he's feeling very generous today. So a live and a digital course is going to be shared. Leslie, such a pleasure. For us in recruitment, it's essential to be looking for new clients. Going to start implementing now. Good luck, Leslie. Let us know how it goes, because we've got quite a few guys on the courses with recruitment. They've even actually formed their own masterclasses, based on the groups that we've put together. So yes, a lot of interesting tidbits you can go do right now to get your recruitment business back up. Gwen, cool. Will this work in the fabrication business? I make furniture and kids' toys. Warren, it depends who your target audience is. Like Tilly said, if you're B2B, absolutely. If you're B2C, you've got about a 37% success rate. Deanne, don't stress. We're going to send you the webinar. Not a problem. Pleasure, Graham. Where to purchase? Michelle, you'll see there's a little button that says take the offer. Otherwise, you can just go to boostsales.coza/invest. And I think then that is it. Brian, if you could let us know who the lucky guys are that have been able to gift a live and a digital course. Brian's going to let us know within 2 seconds. While he does that, Kieran wants to know, would you put your telephone number on your profile, Tilly?
Absolutely. I want to get